It's another amazing day in paradise. Welcome and welcome back. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you so much for joining me. One of the things that has really, another thing, I have a list. No, seriously though, one thing that I realized recently is that I have been teaching or attempting to teach wisdom skills. I'm not teaching him to be obedient. That might shock you. And it's not as hard as it seems, except for the fact that everybody expects a child to be blindly obedient to them. And that, I will tell you, has been incredibly frustrating, because what it means is that people don't expect children to have opinions. People don't expect children to express those opinions or express themselves. They just expect blind obedience. And I'm not teaching wisdom to be that person. If he's got something to say, then I'm teaching him how to say it. He usually, and he's young. He hasn't even been alive for 10 years, so it's not going to be pretty. He's going to be blatant, and he's going to be very blunt like children are, because when they're not, it's because they've learned how not to be because of the consequences, which is usually a punishment. Wisdom's not that child. And so, in fact, I call him my anti-oppression child. I don't know where he got this idea, but for at least a year or two now, if he feels uncomfortable with what somebody is telling him, oh, excuse me, he will say, "You're bossing me around." And at first it caught me, I'm like, I'm not bossing you around. But yeah, I was, because I wasn't giving him any choice in what we were doing. Now, there are times when the choice there isn't much of a choice, right? It's a direction. And so, but the skill behind that is, here are the boundaries. Here are the boundaries that we're gonna work in. So I'm giving you some time, and this is what needs to get done. And we'll go from there. The importance about teaching skills within a set of boundaries is because it helps children to create their own rules, right? They have their own regulations that they can determine. And then if they get out of hand, then you can determine whether it's right or wrong. The thing with teaching wisdom skills, the big challenge that I have found is that I don't always know what the skill is that he needs until it comes out in something that he does. And I'm like, ooh, we need to work on that. But then it's a conversation. It's, oh, well, how do you think we could have done that differently so that he can have a say in the things that he does? And so I just want to put that in your mind, that if we consider that our children need to learn skills more than they learn obedience, we would have a much better world, a much more peaceful world. Thank you.